I'll
it's
call you
within.
back. I'm trying to record this podcast.
His mom.
No.
I'm in
I'm
Worcester.
so sorry. I'm so
I'll get
sorry. She must think it's such a real
Right.
thing. That was hilarious. Tom, she said, "I'm so sorry." Like she thinks you're legitimately
Yeah.
just like Joe Roganing right now. You've got like Neil deGrasse Tyson in the room. Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't know better. She doesn't know this shit show. I make her sit outside. She wants to come back in the house. Drugs. Evan, you said you have some shit to say. Go for it, dude. What do you guys say about drugs?
I didn't know we were talking about. I had no idea we were talking about drugs. All my bits are about just random shit I was thinking about.
All right, I mean, it honestly doesn't matter at all.
No. I have plenty of drug
I
stories.
told you.
Okay, here's my jokes I came up with. Okay, these aren't necessarily jokes, and these have to be shaped out. They're just more concepts.
This is part of the creative process, folks. If you have any advice for Evan, please leave it in the comments.
Okay, this one takes someone who... This is a smart joke. It's a little highbrow. You have to know history. I'm against Indigenous Peoples Day. My great-great-great-great-grandfather died of syphilis.
Because the indigenous people gave it to... Wait, I don't know.
Okay.
Wait,
wanted,
let's circle
girlfriend,
back. No.
preferably
let's not move
British.
on yet. Hold on, let's not move on yet. What the fuck was that, Evan? That doesn't... I thought the like Europeans gave it to the native people. Okay,
first off, you're retarded. We gave everybody the pox. Native Americans gave Europeans syphilis. Syphilis didn't exist in Europe until Native American contact. It was called the Great Exchange or whatever. That's why it's called.
I thought like French whores gave it to Benjamin Franklin, and then he gave it.
They did, but how long did people been in America?
Yeah, we'll have to fact check that.
We're gonna have to fact check,
dude. Yeah. You guys. Oh my God! Hold on. You guys read a book. Syphilis in
maybe a little
Europe,
too
the
high
Great
brow for
Exchange.
us.
Okay, look at this.
Right now.
Look at this. No. Okay. Holds New World diseases brought back by Columbus, Martin Alonso Pinzon, and other members of their crew as unintentional part of Columbian exchange. 536 skeletal remains in the Dominican Republic have shown evidence and characteristics of the treponemial disease of 6 to 14%. I don't even know what the fuck that means, but it's in there. It's there. Because I'm fucking right. You guys suck.
I called the suicide number the other day, and I said I want to kill myself. I want to kill myself and everybody around me. They said, "What are you, a lysosome?" They said, "What?" They said, "What are you, a lysosome?" Because that's the suicide part of the cell. You have to have a little biology. Oh shit! You just blew my ass out. Your audio is aggressive, Alex. Blowing my ass off. All right, Evan. Sorry. All right, let's but comedy's like baseball, right? If you have like 1 out of every 3 jokes are good, you're the best comedian in the world. So let's try 2 more, Evan.
I'm saving the best for last, the one that makes me laugh the most.
Are they all about the triangle trade?
And again, remember, these are like concepts. So that syphilis joke is fucking hilarious, and you guys have just small brains, which is proved by, science. Anyway,
you're like the Joker, right? In that movie, it's just the audiences are bad.
Okay, here's one. The North Vietnamese put up bounties for American snipers from anywhere between $8 to $2,000, even as high as $35,000 for one particularly skilled U.S. Marine sniper. But I gotta ask, who Who would want to admit they had an $8 bounty on them? That guy must have sucked. This is so terrible.
Alex, you have to have understanding of economics and history to really get that.
I mean, I got it, but these just suck.
No. I mean, it's a concept, right? Okay, no. It's Evan.
Could be like a picture like a Portlandia style sketch about like someone in like the what is it? The VHF Veteran Memorial, whatever the association. No, but imagine it as that concept, and like some random guys there, and it's like all these snipers, and it's like the one guy's only got an $8 bounty, and they're like, "What the fuck are you doing here, bitch?" It's $1,000 bounties only or up.
Yeah.
Next one.
Like a Monty Python thing where they got them captured and be like, they find out what bounties they have on them, and then they annoy their captors with like
they don't even want to bother with them. He's like, he's only $5 or $8.
Yeah. I think that's one you kind of had to be there for. But let's go on to the best one. This is the best one. Here we go.
Oh no, I have two more.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, this will be my personal dating ad. Wanted, girlfriend, preferably British, into film and known for being the female lead of Harry Potter.
That one's pretty good. That joke actually makes sense because it's like you're setting it up for what you're looking for, but you're looking for something really specific. Yeah, that's not bad.
Okay, one last one. Okay, the most secure password. Okay. The most secure password is one with the N-word in it because whoever types it is a racist.
I'm going to defer to Alex on how funny that is. Alex?
What's up?
Is that funny?
I wasn't paying attention.
Looking for houses still.
No, I'm playing a game.
God damn it.
Where is the commitment? Alex, you're the life of the party. You're the one that's supposed to. You're the bass and drums of this band.
I mean, it's bad if one of the people in the podcast gets bored.
So it was just like a program where it was like they take you fishing and teach you how to fish for certain things. And every week you had to watch a VHS video about like a cartoon about like how to run away from drugs, like Dare VHS videos. And they would have like I remember there was like return, like people would come back. I only did it for 1 year, or
only one full. That's a long ass time to be doing.
No, it was a summer thing. I meant that like I did it like
just
1 year's worth of it, and it was only like a summer thing. So, I remember there was people there, the two that I like kind of connected with and made buddies with. It was a brother and sister, and they said they were like had been there like twice already, and they were like, "Oh, this is the VHS with the uppers and downers," and I was like, "What?" I had no idea what they were talking about, and it was like this stupid cartoon with like jelly beans that were like jumping up and down like they had ADHD, and it was like, "These are uppers," and then they had like this one like lima bean looking thing. And it just looked like a drunk mess. It looked like my mom.
Now let me ask you: as you rip a bong, did the program work well, or do you just learn more?
I mean, I didn't smoke weed until I was 22, and there was someone in this room was one of the culprits that let me do it.
In your what are you talking about, Alex?
Alex
there. Introduced you to drugs?
Yeah, pretty much.
Alex, how do you introduce this guy to drugs?
He facilitated the exchange.
Are you making money on the side? What are you doing?
Business. What?
Evan just said, just a fucking bombshell he dropped. That you introduced him to drugs.
No.
That he was on the straight and narrow. He had his own small business.
The only thing I did I would just drink with the guys. That's it.
And then what did Alex? What did you say to him to get him hooked on drugs?
I didn't say anything. He's just hanging out with the right people.
No, he facilitated the association. Therefore, they pressured me into going that night. Everyone did, like they did every work event. And then they said, they were like, "Come on, Evan," and then Alex gets on his mood and he'd be like, "You bitch, you little bitch boy, you little bitch," and I'm just like, "Fuck," and then like, but I had a great time. But at the end, he facilitated this associative exchange, and Jessie gave me her pen, and I thought it was just a nicotine vape. I had literally no idea you could smoke weed out of a pen at the time.
You knew.
And I hit it.
You were next to
the pond. Absolutely did not know.
Let's just get the story straight. You were next to the pond. You were reeling in largemouth, smallmouth bass for the most part. And then Evan and his goons fucking pull you aside, stick a vape pen down your throat, and the rest is history.
Evan and his goons?
Yeah, you said the wrong names, but that's okay.
Oh, God damn it. Alex and his... Well, yeah, I'm just used to Evan being the bad guy in the stories.
He is the bad guy.
This was I was taken advantage of by a very large and scary man. I was very worried.
I didn't even say anything.
Dude, Alex literally pulled out right after I took the hit. Alex literally pulled out papers like Swiss and whatever's, and started rolling out the tobacco and trying to roll a blunt.
Is that true? Yeah, this is why he's the bad guy in this story.
No, he's the one. That was stupid. But regardless, Alex facilitated the association, and I will forever blame him. But I was very drunk that night already when I hit it, so I didn't really even feel high, and I don't even know if I got high, honestly. But the very next week, I went up to Maryland, and my friend was like, "Hey, man, you want to try this?" And then that's when I got fucked.
The most anti-drug stuff, like, I don't remember DARE program at all. I know, like, the cop came in and talked to us, but what I remember was in high school, they had, like, a pep rally, everybody in the gym, and they had this guy called, like, his name was Dan, and he played volleyball. And he's like, I can beat anybody in volleyball. Just him alone. So they had the volleyball net set up, and it was Dan on one side, and he's like, all right, let's bring out the volleyball team for the high school. Let's bring out the junior varsity. So they bring out the junior varsity, and it's just Dan on one side, and then like 5 people on the other side, and he beats him at volleyball. And they're like, all right, let's bring out the varsity team. And then Dan beats the varsity team, and everybody's like, holy shit, how's this guy doing this? And then they're like, all right, now let's bring out, the teachers. And he brings out, and Dan beats them. They're like, all right, let's get 50 people on one side and Dan on one side. And he beat them too. But at that point, we're like, well, there's too many people on that side, so it's difficult. And Dan beat all their asses. And at the end, he was just like, all right, don't do drugs. That was it. That was the anti-drug rally.
See, that would be a better skit than a joke.
No, it wasn't a joke. This is actually what happened. So there was that guy, and the other guy that came in was like, he looked kind of short, and we're like, something's off with this guy. He kind of maybe had a limp or something, and he came in and he started telling us he used to do drugs in Chicago, and then an incident happened where he did so many drugs that he fell asleep in the snow. And then he took off, and then he took off his pants, right? I swear, this is true. He took off his pants, and underneath he had shorts on, right? But he had prosthetic limbs. And then he started taking off his legs, because he slowly revealed throughout the talk that he only had one arm, he had no legs, and he had no like left arm or whatever. And he's like, this is what happens when you do drugs, because if you fall asleep in the snow, you'll get frostbite and lose all your limbs. And it was this is the reaction. There's a combination of people like fainting and vomiting. This guy, like multiple people fainted because we were not prepared for it mentally. I'd never seen something like that. And it was kind of gross. And then the other reaction was like, oh, well, we don't have snow in Florida. So this is just not a problem for us.
This isn't a problem for you.
But he was like, yeah, but, and he recognized that at one point. I'm sure he toured the country. He's like, you might not have snow here, but there could be other situations. You get in the wrong crew, you fall asleep. They could chop off your arms. They could chop off your legs. But then he's like, but I'm not handicapped either. He's like, I can do everything you can do, and it's not a problem. And actually, I overcame this adversity. and everything's fine. We're like, what's going on? So it kind of sounds like if we do drugs, it will eventually be fine. It was very mixed messaging. So those are the two people that came to our school that I actually remember. And to this day, I do drugs.
Do you?
Did anybody come to your school, Alex? You remember that shit?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
What drugs do you do?
No, I don't actually. I mean, I have some weed, but I like.
What the fuck?
What?
You loser.
And dude, I even mixed it down recently. I bought that stuff that isn't weed but looks like weed. It's just CBD, and I just cut the regular weed with that, so I like don't even.
Do you get CBD or do you get Delta?
Yeah, I get Delta 8.
Well, Delta 10 and THCO are legal here. I think you could get them. I think at a smoke shop. And Delta THCO will.
No, this is getting too boring. This is getting too boring. So,
I mean, it's about drugs.
Yeah, it's getting too detailed. But the first drug that I really wanted to try, which I haven't fully done, when I was, when YouTube was just a thing, I got hooked on watching these videos about nutmeg. Do you know what I'm talking about, Evan?
Like beetle nut?
No. I don't know what that is. That doesn't sound real.
Beetle nut is cocaine you chew in like Peru for altitude sickness.
Oh no, it's not that. It's literally nutmeg, like you have in like this, like your spice cabinet or whatever.
Like
and you're supposed, if you eat a third of the bottle or half of the bottle, it is it gets you fucked up for like multiple days, or like you feel it's a hallucinogenic for
that
like multiple days.
Sounds literally like the most asinine way to get high. Like there's so many easier ways to do that.
Not for me. I only had access to nutmeg. So, but I was too much of a pussy to actually have like the half bottle or the half thing. So I just like had like a teaspoon of nutmeg, and then I would just pretend I was in my room like, oh dude, I think I feel like kind of fucked up and high. And I'd mix it into like hot chocolate and coffee at like 15 years old and be like, oh man, I'm like alternative and stuff. I'm getting high in my fucking room. But I probably didn't actually get high at all. And I was a pussy.
Sounds like you had a lot of issues with your self-image and self-identity.
No.
You just said you
No,
were,
that doesn't sound like that. No, I just wanted to try the nutmeg.
You just said where you were like really happy you were like alternative.
Oh, that is true though. No, I was like, yeah, I'm doing nutmeg.
Like,
I'm just like
happy to be like, I'm so happy I'm emo. I'm so happy I'm different. Like that's not how that works.
I mixed like nutmeg into my coffee, and I was like, dude, I bet I'm just like Mitch Hedberg pretty much. Like this is probably like what he does. And then I would
He's dead.
Well, yeah, eventually, yeah. But at the time, I think he was dead, but I just didn't know he was dead.
What's your
because like at that time you didn't, I didn't look up stuff. I just saw him on TV or whatever.
What's your favorite Mitch Hedberg joke?
Well, on this episode, it's I used to do drugs. I still do, but I used to too, obviously.
No, the best. I love it. Rice is really good if you're hungry and want 10,000 of something. That's really good.
I think maybe there is something to, I had something wrong or something because my teachers. Well, I looked like I had something wrong at that age because my eyes, for whatever reason, were very sunken when I was like 13, 14 years old. And I had multiple. No.
Yeah.
But they were wet.
Like,
they were really sunken.
You don't look white. Yeah, you don't look black. You don't look European. You look like something crawled out from under a kid.
Again, Evan's the bad guy saying, he's like, look, you look like a mixed race person. Is this thing on? Is this thing's on? You guys don't get history, or else you'd be laughing at that. If you guys understood the history of eugenics, like, that's really funny. You're just a bad person.
I'm sorry, I'm educated. Why don't you go back to your cave with your precious?
It's trash. This is trash. But yeah, no, my band teacher, as I was leaving, he's like, hey Tom, can you stay behind for a minute? And he's like, hey man, I just wanted to He's like, basically, he was like, yeah, just looking you over, something doesn't seem right. And I basically never did drugs or anything. I just did like a little nutmeg. And he's like, your eyes look. He said like your eyes look sunken, and so is everything okay at home? And then I was like, yeah. And he's like, you can tell me if there's something wrong. I was like, oh no.